What's up, gamers? Coops here. Welcome to the video. Super exciting news this week as we had the announcement of Lies of P Overture. The new expansion coming summer 2025 was announced at PlayStation's State of the Play event. They put out a short reveal trailer. I have a link to that trailer in the description below. We aren't going to watch the trailer together, but what I did is I combed through, I grabbed some screenshots that we're going to take a look at, talk about, get excited, and all things Lies of P Overture. But I do want to start by reading one of the prompts that they put on the official release of the trailer video. It says, "Cross the bounds of time in Lies of P Overture, a dramatic prequel that transports you back to Krat in its unseen grandeur on the verge of collapse. Follow the path of the legendary stalker, uncover hidden secrets, and endure relentless battles that will define the past and future of Lies of P." So that, to me, incredibly exciting. This new image, absolutely love it. All the detail here, the detail of P's outfit, the weapons that he's got, this new sawed-off shotgun arm that we're gonna get, and the gunblade. Gamers, how exciting. A gunblade, it just fits so perfectly in the themes and the vibes of Lies of P, in my opinion. Could not be more excited. I think that it's really interesting that they went with the prequel route. So we're going to get to see some of the things that led up to our start of our journey. And I also have a director's note that I'm going to read towards the end. But let's take a look at some of these images. I mean, clearly we can see it's taking place in the winter time. I'm going to guess that, if this is before the puppet frenzy breaks out, that maybe there will be less puppet enemies for us to face. But hard to say, really. Love the vibes here. The Hall of Adventure. We've got this cool mammoth. I mean, I think that this could be maybe a level for us to explore. Maybe this is kind of like a new home base or something for us. I don't know. Interesting vibes, though. I really like this. I love this little nod here, especially if when you have the information that this is a prequel. It's like, oh wow, so Spring. We get to bond with Spring as a kitten, which I think is really cool. Of course, we've got the circus vibes, and I don't know specifically where we're going to be going. Is this going to be in Krat, but new parts of Krat that we haven't explored, or are we going to be revisiting some of the same areas? I don't know. I love the detail in his outfit as well. And then we have this blue line that kind of comes up to him. It looks like maybe in relation to this character here, this female antagonist. We're going to come back and talk about her a lot more because she seems to be a focal point of this trailer. But this right here, this is, oh my goodness, I absolutely love this image. This image and the next one that we're going to see, just so creepy and gruesome. This wax that's being poured over, are they baby arms, are they puppet arms? And then it's just this is the same shot just from a different angle, and there's this this creepy guy, this weird smile. I love this. Just the vibes and the ambiance of these images are just awesome. And then we kind of get a quick look at, I'm going to call this our rival. This might be the legendary stalker. I'm not exactly sure who this is particularly. I think this might be a female character, but they are kind of they're I think that their body's kind of a little bit ambiguous. It could go this could be a man, this could be a woman, but I think that this is going to be kind of like our rival character, not necessarily like an antagonist, but somebody that we are in a competition with. We work alongside each other, but maybe we don't necessarily, we're not friends or allies the entire time. I don't know, who knows. But then we've got this awesome shot. We blow a horn, and then through the window comes Alidoro. And again, thinking about this is not, in my opinion, this is not the Alidoro that we meet in the base game, but this is the actual Alidoro. This is Eugenie's brother as Alidoro. And the reason I say that is because he's holding the two dragons sword, which was basically an heirloom. It was passed down from generation to generation. And then it was eventually given to Eugenie's brother when he took on the mantle of Alidoro, kind of behind the scenes. Eugenie didn't know that it was her brother, but that's spoilers. Sorry. Hopefully, you know what's going on at this point. Love this shot, the detail in the the sword here. I think this might be, showing us some of the weapons that we could customize. Here we've got a humanoid enemy. It looks like kind of like a ram mask that they're wearing. So, we had the donkey and the hunters or stalkers or whatever. And so we have some more of those to look forward to. Probably means that we'll get like a mask or something out of it. And then here we've got this awesome shot of the bow and this monster kind of jumping up out of the ice. And I love the idea of having a bow. I think it goes really well with the whole kind of aesthetic and vibes of being kind of like a huntsman. And then you can kind of see, like, you charge it up. So this is probably going to be a more powerful arm attachment, I would imagine. But yeah, that looks really cool. And then they really start to amp things up towards the back end of this promo. We have the Wolverine claws. And my goodness, again, I know we're not watching the trailer together. If you haven't watched the trailer, highly recommend go checking it out. But even if you have watched it, just this sequence, seeing it again, maybe even slow it down if you feel like you have to. The way that they put together this move set, and like one of the things that I really love about Liza P, this is going to be a little bit of like a tangent here. One of the things that I love about Liza P is that they're very clearly inspired by things. They're very clearly referencing things, but I think that they do it so well with such care and such respect that it's really like an homage to something. Like this pose here where he's down with, he's got this crouch state with his arms out with the Wolverine claws. Like that is an iconic pose that like you see that and you're like, that's Wolverine, And I think that the way that they've done this, just kind of these subtle nods, like the way that they're doing the gunblade, it's like they're honoring the gunblade. They're not just using a gunblade, and you know what I mean? And I love the way that they handle things like that. So I'm just really excited to see all these new weapons, all these new monsters, just everything that the devs are pouring into it. The gunblade feels weighty. It's got this long wind-up animation, and you kind of like your knees buckle for a second afterwards, and you let out this big explosion. It just, oh man, it seems so cool. And so as our trailer crescendos, we get more of this blue female antagonist character. She's definitely one of the focal points of this trailer. We see her introduced early on, and then we get another kind of a more action shot towards the end. I think that this character personally might have some relation or connection to Luxatia, which to me, so if just kind of briefly diving into the lore, Luxatia, before she became Luxatia, was a woman named Adriana, and she basically was like in love with Simon Manus. A good parallel for me would be like Harley Quinn in the Joker. And so like this is kind of like the femme fatale, beautiful woman falls in love with a guy who really only loves himself and is willing to do things for him that ultimately like kind of like are self-sacrificing sort of vibes. So this could be Adriana before she transforms into Luxatia. This could be a sister of hers or someone related, but the vibes, this the aesthetic, the hair color, the lightning, it just kind of was giving me Luxatia vibes. So that's kind of where my head's at going into this with very limited knowledge. But man, tell you what, I'm just such a fan of a nice big round fat ball of lightning, you know what I mean? There's also this like puppet in the background, and it kind of seems like this could be like a 2-on-1 fight situation, but they do seem fairly passive, so it almost kind of seems like maybe the puppet is providing her with her power or something. I don't know. And then we've got this really interesting kind of unique weapon going on. It reminds me a little bit of like a keyblade, but it obviously doesn't have like a key at the end of it. It kind of has like this like an exhaust where like fumes or fire might come out, and then the end of it had kind of like a spear tip. So I'm wondering if it's like maybe like a harpoon, like something like this can like launch a projectile or something. And then we have, like, as we close, we have this very quick shot happening, and the outfit, like, P is moving so fast in this scene that it's hard to get a really good clean look at the outfit, but the outfit is very much, in my opinion, like kind of like Bloodborne vibes, like this long black kind of trench coat, and then he's got on kind of like this like red shirt, but you're showing off this really fast melee attack string that you can do here, and then just this kind of like explosion, like death by 1,000 cuts, and just really cool. I love that, like, there's like almost these like rose petals kind of exploding outwards from it. Just awesome vibes. It's all happening so fast at the end there that like you can see that like they don't want to spoil too much of like the cosmetics. They want to show you, hey, P's getting a new outfit, but there's going to be plenty more. There's going to be tons of things, tons of new customizable weapons, tons of new special weapons, and I'm just so excited for this. So earlier I mentioned I had a director's note that I was going to read at the end, but then as I read it, it took me like 3 minutes to record reading it, and I was like, you know what, I'll just put it in a pinned comment so that, you know, you guys can read it on your own, and then it'll just save us both more time. I want to thank you so much for being here. I'm incredibly excited for Lies of P. I will be doing a Lies of P Overture playthrough on this channel. We did a Lies of P blind playthrough when the game released. You can go check that out if you're interested. We've got a whole playlist on the channel for it, but when this game releases in the summer, I'll do probably a fresh playthrough, and then I'm going to do an upload of the Overture expansion. So really excited and definitely looking forward to that. Thanks again so much for being here. I have been and always will be Coobs. Peace and love, gamers.